What's going on YouTube? So midsize sedans for decades were the go-to pick for American families. But as you probably know, crossovers are king these days, which has made compact crossovers really the new de facto pick for most families. That's why the CR-V is Honda's most important model, and they've just released this all-new 6th generation model, which a lot of people have been anxiously awaiting. But let's not waste any time. Let's get right into this review of the all-new CR-V. On an extremely limited time frame to take a look at this new CR-V. So I'm not going to be super specific. If you want to know all the nitty-gritty details, we have a very detailed studio first look also on the channel, and that's going to tell you all about those things you might want to know about. So I'm going to keep things more general. However, I will mention you do have gas and hybrid powertrains. EX and EXL are gas-only trims, and then Sport and Sport Touring are hybrid-only trims. The gas-powered models are the first ones to come on sale. That's what we have today. So this is going to be the EXL trim level. So as you can see up here in the front, this is what the new fascia is going to look like. It has a kind of sophisticated and somewhat sporty vibe to it. We've got the gloss black finish here on the grille, and then you've got the chrome piece that passes over the top and into the headlight unit itself. Now, of course, the headlights are also all new, and I'm happy to report you have standard full LED headlights across every single trim level. As you can see, these are reflector beams. We've got the daytime running light and turn signal indicator up top. Now again, if you went through the Sport or Sport Touring, the overall design would be different. Now as we start to move over into the side area, let's go ahead and take a look at our wheels. So what we have on board here is an 18-inch silver alloy wheel. This is actually going to be the same wheel on both the EX and the EXL trim level. It's a little bit plain looking, of course, as you can probably tell, but I am happy to report if you go for the Sport or that future Sport Touring, both hybrid models, those are going to come with sportier design wheels with a nicer finish and look a little bit more aggressive. And then taking a look up here at our mirrors, as you can see, integrated turn signal indicator, and you do have standard blind spot monitoring on every version of this 2023 CR-V.
All right guys, so let's talk about the side of this all-new Honda CR-V, since there is a little bit going on here. Now, in terms of the overall length, let's start with that. We're looking at 184.8 inches in overall length, which does place this a little bit above the Toyota RAV4 for reference. It's actually 2.7 inches longer than the previous generation CR-V, and it's going to be about 5 inches longer than a Honda HR-V for reference. Now, I do also want to point out that the A-pillar right here has been pushed back 4.7 inches over the previous generation to kind of give it a cooler rear drive look. I actually do like the way this car looks from the side. It's definitely been improved for this generation. We also have some chrome trim around the window arches for the EXL trim level, no roof rails on this particular model. Now, as far as the rear design is concerned for the CR-V, we're going to have a little bit of an evolutionary look. You're definitely going to know that this is a Honda CR-V, but that said, it does have a classy and nice look to it. So let's break down some of the elements that you're going to get. We do have an exposed wiper right here, all-wheel drive branding, which is a little bit unique. I saw that in the new HR-V as well, so I guess that's what Honda is choosing to do with all-wheel drive models now, is brand them in the window. And then if we look at our taillights, this is probably the most controversial element about this new CR-V. It's not that these taillights are not good looking, it's that it does look remarkably similar to the Volvo XC60, which I think is certainly a good thing because it has a nice full-length look to it. You have a lot of LED components. However, your turn signal and reverse light will still be incandescent, but the brake light itself is LED. If we drop down to the lower areas, we're going to have a matte finish for this EXL model, and the hybrid can now, for the first time, tow 1,000 pounds. Now let's talk about your warranty and safety systems for this all-new CR-V. Now, as you would expect out of a family vehicle like this, Honda is putting safety at the forefront by giving you every single system as standard equipment. So you're looking at forward emergency braking and pedestrian detection, lane keeping assist, auto high beams, as well as adaptive cruise control, and they're also including a traffic jam assistant. Honda also claims that they've improved the cameras and sensors for this new generation CR-V for improved reliability. Now, as far as the warranty information is concerned, your signature Honda warranty is still at play. So you're looking at 3-year, 36,000 mile basic warranty, 5-year, 60,000 mile powertrain warranty.
But of course, even as nice as the exterior is, the interior is where you're going to spend all your time. So let's go ahead and get in here, turn it on first and foremost because it is baking hot. And here we are. This is the brand new interior of the CR-V. As you can probably tell right from the start, it does have a lot of influence from the latest Honda models, such as the Civic. And that's certainly a good thing because I do like how kind of clean and sophisticated this design is, especially compared to the outgoing model, which was kind of a strange look. This one's a lot more traditional, a lot more classy and mature. But here's the key fob. Newest Honda design. It's kind of small, very round. You got a remote start built into the fob itself. Looks nice. I like it. In terms of the overall interior, let's talk about those materials. Like I already talked about the design, but the materials have also been elevated. We've got a nice soft touch plastic all through here. Nice texture to it. Gloss black interior accents look really slick. These are going to be reserved for the top end EXL as well as that top end Sport Touring, and that goes to the door trim in addition to that. Coming down, you have the more traditional console. Not going to be padded or anything, but it is really nice and solid feeling. As far as the seats themselves, as you might know if you're familiar with Honda's EXL, L is for leather, so that means that you're going to add the leather seats you see here. Nice design, lots of perforation stitching details on board. They are going to be heated. However, I do want to point out that seat ventilation is not available. It's not going to be available on any of the trim levels of the CR-V. Coming over here to our gauge cluster, one of the things that's been enhanced is we have a partial digital gauge cluster. So over here on the left-hand side, this is going to be reconfigurable. On the right-hand side, that's going to be an analog gauge, and the overall design changes when you make adjustments to like your drive mode, stuff like that. The steering wheel, very nice look. Latest Honda design, of course. Stitching feels good in the hand. Buttons are nice and easy to use. It's going to be manual, tilt, and telescoping as well. Now, let's talk about interior storage. So I'm going to reach over here and grab out the coupons we brought down from Kentucky to Nashville. And let's take a look at how they're going to fit inside. Because, of course, CR-Vs, oh my goodness, they're always known for just having tremendous storage. And it looks like this is going to continue for this next generation. Look at that. Absolutely swallows this up. This is a humongous center console for this category of vehicle. Got this little tray you can take out. And then you also have a little bit more storage right here. Big, deep cup holders. And then with this traditional console arrangement, we have this humongous space up here. Nicely rubber lined. And if I get that out of the way, you can see that we also have a large wireless phone charging pad here on the left-hand side for this upper end EXL trim level. And then you got your traditional connections. Now, one of the things I really think that elevates this interior, though, is the fact that we have a traditional shifter. I didn't really like the one that was mounted up here on the previous generation, so now we can just grab this guy, pull it back, no push button or anything like that. When we go into reverse, you've got your traditional backup camera here on the EXL with the active trajectory, and then you can change the views like that. We also have a hill descent control, drive modes, and your electronic parking brake and brake hold function. Coming above that, we have our dual zone automatic climate controls. These are the same really nice high quality knobs we've seen in some of the other Honda products. I love these. They feel great. Also, if you remember, the previous generation didn't have all the controls physically. Some of them were actually located in the display, so I'm glad we don't have that anymore. They're all located right here. As we go up above, we've got the 9-inch touch display. This is going to be the upgraded version. So the EX as well as the Sport models, those are going to have the smaller 7-inch display. These upper tier models for both gas and hybrid will have the elevated 9-inch display. When you choose this display, this will also give you the wireless Android Auto and wireless Apple CarPlay. So I know that's a couple features that you guys are probably looking to have in your next CR-V, and if so, you're going to have to go for the upper end models. As we come above, auto dimming mirror. And I do want to point out something. If some of you guys might have been expecting the next generation CR-V to have a panoramic sunroof, I'm a little disappointed. None of the versions are going to have a panoramic sunroof. It's just going to be the standard size unit. However, it will be included as standard equipment with these upper end models.
Well guys, I'm very happy to be in the rear seat of this all new Honda CR-V because my, oh my, this has a lot of space and a lot of comfort. So for this new CR-V, Honda has upped the ante on what was already like the biggest option in the entire segment. So we are looking at 41 inches of legroom for this all-new CR-V, which is up 0.6 inches over the previous generation. Like I mentioned, that is, I believe that's the largest figure in the entire segment. I'm 5'9". This seat is adjusted to Drew, who's 5'8". I still have, I'd say, a foot or so of room between my knees and the seat back. Incredible amounts of space. My feet can slide up underneath the seat. I'm just so comfortable. You're definitely going to appreciate the space in the rear of this CR-V. Now, I also want to mention the rear seats. A new feature is that they can recline in 8 different configurations. And look at this with it reclined all the way back. Yeah, I could take a nap right here. I really appreciate this rear space. Now, as far as the features that Honda's throwing in, though, here in the center we are going to have vents. I do believe these will be standard on the vast majority of CR-V models. We don't have specifics on what trim levels they come on, but they will be on this EXL at least. Then if we drop down to the lower area, you will notice that we would have, looks like what would be USB ports. That's going to be included on the Sport and Sport Touring CR-V models. Now, if we fold down the central armrest, we have cup holders inside. It's a really nice, comfortable armrest, and your door trim is going to be made of nice materials. Hard touch on the upper part, though. We have that piano black trim since we have an EXL, leather-wrapped armrest portion, and bottle storage down in the bottom with little CR-V branding by the speaker grill. Now coming up to our tailgate for this new CR-V. As you can tell on this EXL model, we do have a power tailgate. And as far as the space is concerned for the rear area, guys, you probably already know the CR-V's priority is space, and that's going to continue in this cargo department. So we're looking at 39.3 cubic feet of cargo capacity behind the second row seats. As a maximum, we're looking at 76.5 cubic feet of capacity. So you are looking at really enormous figures for this segment of vehicle. That best all of the competition, it at best the previous generation CR-V as well, so they've managed to improve that space figure. It is worth noting for the hybrid models, you're going to have a slightly reduced cargo capacity for the behind the seat configuration. Now, as far as other things to mention back here, we have LED lighting on both sides. We have a 12-volt power outlet. You can also just reach up and fold the seats down. It's pretty hard to do for a person as short as me, but as you can see, when you do that, it gives you a relatively flat loading floor. I do also want to point out that this floor actually can be configured in different shapes, so you can actually have it flat with this area, or you can drop it down like what we have right now to maximize your space, and up underneath of it, you're going to have a spare tire. Now, your passenger seat on this EXL is going to be power adjusting. It's 4-way power adjusting, so you can have that on the EXL and Sport Touring models. Then if we pop open the glove box, we are going to have a really good sized glove box. As you can see, it fits this drive route paper, but more importantly, let's take a look at the coupons. Coupon of the day, New York style pizza for $13.99. I don't know how good of a deal that is. We'll see. But you can just throw that in the glove box right there, and it does fit it in there perfectly fine. And up top, we do have a sun visor. We have mirror as well as some lights. It does attach and extend out.
Now, as promised, it is time to circle back and talk about the powertrain situation. So as you know at this point, you have the gas and the hybrid powertrains to choose from, and you can choose which trim level you want depending on which one best fits your needs. Let's start out over here with the traditional gas-powered model. This is going to be using an updated version of the 1.5-liter turbo 4-cylinder from the current generation. Power is actually going to be unchanged. It's still going to be 190 horsepower and 179 pound-feet of torque. However, Honda says what has been updated is basically overall refinement and having less engine noise. Now, let's go over to the hybrid model. This, for a lot of you guys, will be the more exciting option because, of course, in 2022, we're moving towards a lot of hybridization, electrification, and this option here is going to be pairing a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine to Honda's next generation 2-motor hybrid system. Now, while we obviously don't have any fuel economy numbers for either of these two at this point, we can of course assume that the hybrid model will be the most efficient of the two. but I can confirm that the hybrid model will also be the more powerful of the two options. So this total system for the hybrid model is going to be making 204 horsepower and 247 pound-feet of torque. Now, in terms of other aspects in the powertrain situation, you're going to have an eCVT with the hybrid model, a CVT with the traditional gas-powered model, both of which are now going to have a shift simulation effect for a more traditional feel behind the wheel. We're also going to have standard front-wheel drive and available all-wheel drive across all of the models, except for the Sport Touring, where all-wheel drive will be standard. Now let's also talk about pricing as well as availability. Obviously, there's no official pricing at this point. However, being a very competitive segment, I would anticipate that the prices will stay roughly in line with where they're at currently. However, just be aware you don't have an LX trim level anymore, so that is going to raise that base MSRP a little bit higher, almost certainly.
Well guys, thanks so much for tuning in to one of the first in-depth looks of the all-new 2023 Honda CR-V. Of course, this is the gas model review. Expect a hybrid review coming in the near future. And of course, thanks for joining us in the beautiful infield area of Nashville Super Speedway. This is a really cool experience. If you've been hearing NASCARs and cars drive around, that's probably what it is. But anyway, guys, if you haven't subscribed to our channel already, please hit that subscribe button down below. We would truly appreciate it. Also, follow us on TikTok and Instagram. And we'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.